So now you're ready to create your mission statement, and this is what you would want to really create with your board of directors, or sit down to create with at least two or three key persons that understand your organization, your vision of where you're going. And with your mission statement, basically it defines your organization's purpose and your primary objectives. Your mission statement should be clear and brief, but yet should definitely outline your purpose and your objectives so that a funder immediately can see if they align with your organization. So you'll want to make sure that you kind of keep your mission statement um, broad, especially if you want to apply for several different areas of funding. You don't want to be too specific if you know that you'll be working with youth and seniors. You want to make sure that you kind of indicate that you're providing community services for all ages or various ages or something like that. So you want to work on that. And it'll take some time to craft a good mission statement. And so you'll probably have various drafts before actually zoning into one. The next thing is crafting your goals and your objectives, and this is key to any successful business plan or grant proposal. I use this presentation for-profit organizations as well. Any business owner or entrepreneur will know that you need a good business plan. The same thing with a nonprofit organization. You need a good organization plan, a strategic plan. It is the roadmap to make sure that you're headed in the right direction. And in this plan, you'll have goals and objectives, and you want to make sure that these are clear, measurable goals and objectives, meaning that a funder can see specifically who you're working with, how many people you're working with, as well as then to know if you met those goals at the end of any particular project. To define what a goal and objective is, the first thing, let's look at goals. Goals are broad statements that indicate what you hope to accomplish. They create the setting for what you are proposing, and they also focus on how a situation will be changed as a result of a successful project. And it does not indicate just what the project will do. So when you're developing your goals, it's usually a broad statement. For instance, if you're developing a literacy program, working with youth in elementary school, that is a broad statement, but it does indicate that you're going to provide literacy for youth in elementary school. Also, it creates a setting, so you would want to indicate that you're proposing a literacy program for grammar school kids, and you may want to indicate third grade grammar school kids with low reading levels. So now you kind of have a focus, and also in your goal, you're showing how the situation will change. So in your goal, another one would be to increase those reading levels so that they are then prepared to go into high school. So now you're getting specific, and you're showing that this success rate will be that they'll be able to graduate. There'll be less of a dropout rate. So these might be some other goals that you will show, and that you will show your success, because their reading levels will increase based upon what kind of literacy curriculum that you're providing. The next thing is also then looking at the definition of our objectives. Objectives provide an organization pathway to meet higher goals. They also are operational and measurable, and they describe specific things that you're accomplishing, and they have a quantitative and qualitative degree, amount, or level of achievement or change. Here in your objectives, they're balancing out your goals. So now that you're talking about a literacy program, you would want to indicate in your objectives that you're going to reach 50 youth or 50 kids, third grade, elementary school. You're going to also then show specific things that you're going to accomplish, so that you can indicate that you're going to provide this for so many hours per week, and then also to show the degree of achievement that at least 98% of these students will be successful and be prepared to go into high school with 10th grade reading levels, So that now shows the objectives that are more specific than what a goal would be. So you want to work on that and start preparing that. The next thing is doing your historical profile. That's the next step. You want to actually talk about the history of your organization. If you are a new startup, you probably want to expound on your experience in the years that you've been working in this particular industry, or the outreach that you've provided already, but maybe you just want to incorporate it. So you want to indicate that and then state the date that you incorporated your organization. That will be helpful. Then you'll want to talk about information about yourself as an executive or officer, or then officers. Give some kind of brief bio just to show your experience that you can execute this project, and then any other significant information that would align with the funder. The funder is always looking for organizations that align with their mission, so you want to make sure all that's included. The next thing is then your project description, and this is where the meat of your proposal is. Again, you've already worked on your mission and also your goals and your objectives, so that's information that you'll put in there. You'll talk about your target audience and your geographical data. So that means you're now talking about the people that you're reaching out to. You're talking about your community. You're pulling up statistics, and you want to indicate where you got these numbers from. You'll do your measurable objectives, which we just talked about. And then you will want to do your process of implementation. So you'll want to show the funder step by step what each day looks like. And you'll outline that, the hours of your operation and so forth. Then you'll talk about your management. You'll talk about who's going to run everything with that particular project, who's going to be the manager, who's going to do the reporting, so forth. Then the next thing is your timeline, and you specifically want to indicate that if the project is for a year, starting January 1st, we're going to do this, and then in March we're going to do this, and then you'll show who's responsible for each of those projects and those objectives. Then the last thing is your evaluation. You want to be able to show how you're going to evaluate success. So you will show the funder then um, just the steps of evaluating your success. And there are several different ways to do evaluation. We will be offering a workshop on next week on how to develop an evaluation plan. So you might want to check that out on our website and see how to access that webinar on evaluation. And so these are the steps that you want to take in developing your project description.